Today's August 6th, and we're getting to play with the solar oven. This is version 3.0. The first version had two pieces of glass in it, and about the first or second day in, the bottom piece of glass cracked and broke. And so the second version, we replaced that bottom piece of glass with plexiglass. And that lasted, I mean, it worked pretty good for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it got soft and melted and fell out. And so this version, we've replaced all the glass with like a Reynolds baking bag that you bake turkeys in. So we've got 2 layers of this Reynolds baking bag with the dead air space in between it. And seems to be working really well. And then the other thing Charlie did was raise the whole solar oven off this table, and he built a Lazy Susan, and he used golf balls as the roller bearings underneath. Kind of see how it rolls on the golf balls. And he did that because when it was in its fixed position like this, we didn't get any sunlight in there until like 10:30 in the morning. And so this morning we moved it around, and by 10 o'clock it was already 275 degrees. And I think by 11:30 it was 300 degrees in the oven. And so we got to play with cooking in it today. I baked my rice in it, baked sweet potatoes, and then we are making our lunch in it, which is it was red snapper with some tomatoes and basil chopped up and put on top, and I put it in little tin foil packages and baked it in this oven too. And so it's just been a real fun thing to get to play with. And plus we're getting to cook with the sun. With the first version of the oven, it was in a fixed position, just aimed this way, and the sunlight never even got inside until 10:30 in the morning. And since Charlie's gone with this Lazy Susan thing with the golf balls down here, we're able to rotate it, and we were getting sun in it this morning at 9:30. And then kind of just as the sun came up, I just kind of kept moving it around to catch the sun, and then later, if we wanted to cook later in the day, we can turn it all the way over to the west. And just gives us a whole lot more versatility. We just track the sun all the way around. And it also solved the problem of, with this being fixed, water was getting down here and getting underneath it and soaking into the bottom of the oven, and now it's raised it up and air gets under here and it's keeping it all safe and dry. Well, it's 275 in here. Ouch. I don't think those guys are quite done. They're getting soft. But I'm getting ready to take out the fish. And oops, that's what it looks like. Well, I'm testing the fish, and it looks flaky, so I think it's time to eat. Okay, here's our lunch today, and that we got to play with in the solar oven. It's the red snapper with golden jubilee tomatoes and basil and balsamic vinegar, and it's baked in the oven. There's more golden jubilee tomatoes with mozzarella and fresh basil with olive oil dribbled on top, and brown rice cooked in the solar oven. I'm standing by our solar food dryer, and this was designed and built by Charlie and Martha Morris. She was one of the people who started the Roanoke Ecological Reading Group that we participated in this past winter. And they designed and built this together, and I get to play with it, which is kind of fun. Now, I found this window, and so that's the size it got built to. Charlie built, well, Charlie and Martha built the box to the shape of the window. There's a piece of metal, I think it's tin roof inside, it's painted black, and there's a screen on the bottom, and so air flows in through the bottom screen and it gets heated on both sides of this piece of metal, and then there's a hole in the bottom of this box down under here, and that hot air goes through that hole, and there's 6 trays in here that hold the food, and there's a screen on top, and so this air just gently gets heated, and I can feel it, hot air is coming out of the top, and so hopefully it's just gentle, warm air that dries the food inside. And right now I'm drying tomatoes. This is the back of the dryer, and this little rope holds it on, and this lifts out, and then these trays sticking slide out. Charlie built the trays, sandwich screen between boards, and I'm just drying my little, cut all my little tomatoes up and I'm drying them. Then there'll be little tomato chips. There we go. Here's the real sun-dried tomatoes. The Italian tomatoes are a little bit bigger. Those first ones were grape tomatoes. This really is the Italian sun-dried. This is the bed that had broccoli in it around the outside and onions in the middle, and the broccoli got harvested. Charlie was here and he blanched it all and froze it because I was gone. It's been replaced with green beans and Swiss chard on the south side, and something called spinach mustard, which is new for us. I don't know what it's going to be like. And we're waiting for the onions to totally die down, and then I'll harvest them and put something else in the middle. I'm in the little greenhouse area, and I've planted carrot seeds down in through here, and hopefully they'll be like our fall and winter carrots. Planted beets in that one. Everything is coming up nicely, and planted more beets down here. And this is a volunteer melon. It just looks so healthy, and I didn't know what it was, and I thought I'm just going to let it grow, and it's turned into this beautiful melon. I still don't know what kind, and I'm hoping it's going to taste good, but here's one of them, and there's another one down on the ground. I'm in the peanut patch and the sweet potato patch. The peanuts are doing really well. We weeded them, and once we did, they just took off like crazy. And the sweet potatoes are finally starting to look a little healthier and starting to run. I'm standing in the row with the Golden Jubilee tomatoes and the pineapple tomatoes. And they're just starting to turn ripe, and we're really happy. Hi, this is our watermelon patch. It's Wilson watermelon, and they seem to come on late, and they have the most beautiful leaves, and they just vine every place. And here's our one big watermelon so far. Last year, they averaged about 15 pounds each, and they were just wonderful. They have seeds in them, but it's worth it because they're really tasty. I'm in beds number 1, 2, and 3. It's where we had potatoes earlier this year and peas, and we've replaced them with different kinds of beans. Soup beans, cannellini beans, and another soup bean, and there's purple pole beans, asparagus pole beans, and green beans back there. It's a little bit late, but maybe they'll come on in September and October before the frost. This is a giant lamb's quarter that's going to turn into soup pretty soon.